going to be fantastic. I'm a contortionist and an aerialist based in Denver. Just a heads up, today is going to be a very like focused, intensive, quick overview of like concepts of back flexibility. We're going to do a bunch of different exercises. Some are mobilizers, some are strengtheners, and some are stretches. Because I'm not there in person and because I'm sorely outnumbered, this is not going to be a lot of like one-on-one personal attention. This is more like a workshop download for you to take and run with and add into your own training. I do also offer private lessons if people are interested in like more personal detail, but just because we're via video and because of the numbers and the ratio, I'm going to share everything I know, and then you're going to apply it as it applies to you. Sound good? Cool. I'm ready when you're ready, Staza.
Let's just do a quick time check. I've lost my phone. I just want to make sure we're not starting early. Let's just give it 1 minute for anybody who might not join us until 11 o'clock. But feel free to keep chatting in the chat room for the next minute. But Staza, yeah, in like a minute, just go ahead and start.
Hey, just wanted to say thanks so much for doing one in the morning. Those of us in Europe, I think, are really appreciative.
Yes, absolutely. I think I'm going to run with this 45-minute workshop idea for the rest of the week. And also, Janelle, do you want to share real quick what you're doing next week?
What am I doing next week, Cressie?
Your flexibility workshops.
Oh, yes, thank you. What day is it? Where am I? Yeah, so next week I'm running 2 all-level flexibility workshops on the 7th, and those ones are separate from the circus workout party. So they're just something that I'm putting on as an individual, and they're donation-based, anything that you can or would like to donate. And then I'm taking all of the donations and all the proceeds from that, and I'm splitting it evenly between a local food pantry in Denver and between Doctors Without Borders. I wish that I were able to just like donate a ton of money to organizations that are like working to help people, but I don't have a ton of money, but I do know how to teach flexibility, so I'm doing that instead. You guys are more than welcome. Those will have some overlap with what we learned today, but there will be a lot of additional information because those are each 60-minute classes and don't focus on back bends. They're kind of a general flexibility class. So I hope I see some of you there for 1 or 2 of those. It'll be really fun.
Thank you, Janelle. And I am going to be strategically planning workout parties that day, so to not overlap with Janelle, because we really want as many people to hop in on that and donate and help raise money for the cause. Okay, Staz, I think it's time.
Okay, yay! Let us warm up. I just chugged coffee. Hopefully it starts working, or maybe the cardio will. We're gonna start from standing, and we are going to do a final countdown. That's right. We're gonna be starting with 50 jumping jacks. Everybody, let's do it. You don't have to count. I can count for you. You can do fancy arms here if you want, of any kind. You bring your arms to the front, bring your arms to the side. You can disco up and down, switch up a little bit. Whatever your brain is ready for this morning, as long as you're moving in a jumping jack-like pattern, that's all you really need. Nice job, you guys. Look at you, cute little kangaroos. Okay, we're gonna turn that into high knees. Yes, think about it, you're trying to knee yourself in the face. You really just wanna get that bloody nose. Please don't, please keep your face up. Look at the screen or at a wall. Please do not look down at your knees. Yes, really high. You're jumping over tiny little fences every single time. I don't know who built their fence like this, but you're trying to get by it. Yes, nice. We're gonna kick our butt. Yeah, really kick that booty. Every time, trying to pull that heel all the way in. Keeping up the speed. You guys are doing great. We're gonna jump side to side. Whew. I like to pretend that I'm skiing. I don't actually ski, so I don't even know if this is what skiing is like, but that's what I'm thinking about. Nice. Yes, yes. Great job. Okay, so we are going to end this with 10 burpees because it's my personal mission to make everyone do burpees every day. Ready? We're gonna do them all together. Let's go. I believe in you. You don't even have to do a push-up in between this time. We're halfway there. Like little rockets to the sky. One more, you guys. Nice job. Grab a quick drink of water because I'm gonna take off my pants to reveal my other pants. That's right. Getting a little sassy in the morning. Sassy and sweaty. Okay, we are going to circle through all of our joints. So you can meet me back at standing when you're ready. We're gonna do some big circles leading with our heads. Reaching up to the very top of your spine. Trying not to crunch down anywhere. Let's go the other way. Pretend like you have a glorious marker on the top of your head and you're drawing a big circle on the ceiling. One more. Nice job. Let's meet in the center. We're gonna do backward shoulder rolls. Try and hit every point of that circle, making them nice and big and juicy. We're gonna put the hands on, turn those into little chicken wings flapping away in this early afternoon sunshine, late morning. That's the hour. And we're gonna turn those into big full arm circles. Doing your backstroke. Nice. Stopping at the bottom, we're gonna do just the shoulders going forwards this time. If you went forwards last time, then you go backwards. We don't have to be together as long as you do both directions. Nice job. Hands are gonna go on. We're gonna flap our little chicken wings forward this time. Trying to take flight. I'm so out of breath, you guys. Let's do big arm circles because I don't do cardio. Nice. Okay, shake that out. Shake it, shake. Put those legs nice and wide. We're gonna do some big hip circles. Bring it all the way around the town. Yes, you're showing off every part of your hips to whoever is watching. Maybe it's an imaginary friend. Maybe it's just your cat. Let's go the other way. Or maybe it's your dog. Maybe you have a bird. I don't know. I would like to do an animal show and tell one of these classes. Nice and big. Yes, great job, you guys. Okay, shake that out. Come to stand and centaur. We are going to keep one leg planted, other leg comes up. We're gonna do little circles right out of our hip joint. Yes. Letting that knee lead. Arms of choice here. Go the other direction. Try not to fall over. That's me just talking to myself. Nice. Bringing that leg to the front. We're gonna do just the knee joint. I always like to think about stirring my bath water with this. Just test it. This is how I test my bath water, with just my toes. Let's go the other direction. Nice, look at all those beautiful stems stirring away. Then we're gonna do just ankle circles, just quick little rotations, and go the other direction. Nice, shake that out. Let's do the other leg. So those nice, big, juicy circles, your hip, just moving and grooving, getting all limbered up to get bendy. Let's go the other way. Nice job, you guys. You can always grab onto something if you need assistance. Let's bring that leg forward. We're gonna do just the knee, just stirring your little leg. Like you're stirring your bath or your soup, because you just took a bath and your feet are very clean. Let's go the other way. And you didn't wash your dishes, so this is your only option for your soup stirring. And let's just do the ankle. Nice, and go the other way. Nice job. Shake that out, shake that out. Okay, we're gonna do a couple more little things to get our hips warm. We're gonna do some grapevines. They look like that. Yeah? So we're getting that cross. Yep. Try to go quick. Once you have the motion, I don't have a lot of space, so I just kind of gotta do like 4 in each direction. That's about all I got for myself. If you have more, take it. Take it off screen, baby. Yes, nice job. There's a couple more of these. Awesome. Okay, we're gonna do some zombie kicks. Ugh. So, coming to one side, arms straight out, leg just gonna kick, plant, plant, and then turn if you have to. Kick, yep. You can just hop in anytime and do your monster mash with me. Swatching which leg is kicking each time. You don't have to be a zombie or Frankenstein. Maybe you're a werewolf. I'm gonna be a half alligator woman. Yes, nice kicks up. Let's just do a couple more. Boop. Awesome, you cool guys and ghouls, you did great. Okay, we're gonna take this down to the floor. Bloop. Do a little laying on our back, facing up to the sky. Arms are gonna tee out to the side. I'm gonna take my right leg. I'm gonna bring it over, tap it to the left, bring it back, put it back down. Yeah, we're gonna do 10 of these each leg. So you can do it with me or at your own pace. We're just trying to get the hips all nice and juicy. Janelle asked me to warm them up for you guys. So hopefully this does the trick. And we're almost done with this side. If you weren't counting, no biggie. Just switch with me. Last one. Switch sides. Other leg's gonna come up, tap to the side, come back to center, and come down. Ooh, that hip's tighter for me. That leg does not want to go anywhere. I wonder what I was doing in my sleep. I did have dreams that I was climbing a mountain last night, so maybe I was just really relying on that left leg. All right, a couple more here. Kicking up, tapping down, bringing it back. You guys are doing awesome. And last little kick. Nice. Okay, while we're down here, I'm gonna check my time real fast. We're gonna do some ab things. we are going to do 10 just upper abdominal crunches. You can put your legs out, you can bring them in, you can lift them up if you want to be real crazy this morning. We're just going to do these tiny, tiny little crunches. Okay, 10 of them. Looking down your body, saying, oh, hey legs, you're looking good today. Are you wearing socks? Do your socks match anything else on your body? Mine do not, but they are strawberries. And 10, nice. We're gonna do 10 with the lower abdominal, so little leg lifts. Ready? Lifting, yes. You guys are doing awesome. And one more, nice. And let's come up to standing. One last thing we're gonna do is our holding of the cat twist. So we're gonna stand with our legs nice and wide. Pretend like you're grabbing your cat or your toilet paper or truly whatever you wanna grab. We're just gonna do a little twist off to each side, back and forth, keeping your lower body stationary and twisting that torso. Nice job. And that's it. I hope that you're warm and ready to get bendy with your buns.
Awesome. Thank you, Staza. This is Janelle talking, so hopefully y'all can see me now. Show me with your thumbs. Are you feeling warm? Wonderful. So good. Okay, great. So we're going to do one more warmy uppy feeling thing before we get into the back bending. So we're going to do a little glute waker upper. This is a really fun one. It looks really silly. It is harder than it looks, but it is hardest the first time you try it. Once you've done it, it'll click and you'll be able to do it again in the future without too much trouble. So we're going to find a nice line. If you have a yoga mat or something that makes a line on the floor, or lines in your rug or your wooden floor, you can use that. We're gonna put one hand, the same side knee, and the top of that same side foot all down in one straight line. The top hand can give me a little bit of help with my balance by coming out in front here. I'm gonna keep this foot in line. It's gonna wanna twist back, but I'm not gonna let it. I'm gonna bring my free leg up as if I wanna put my knee in my ear. So I'm opening, pressing my hips forward, pulling my knee back, and then I'm gonna straighten and bend 10 times. Ready, go. And then same thing, other side. Feeling those glutes being nice and warm. The glutes are gonna help protect our low back and our back bends today. So we wanna make sure that they are awake, present, and accounted for. 10 on the other side. Beautiful. And if you're not feeling your butt, congratulations. You and I are different people. Okay. So we are going to start with a little back noticer. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna turn my camera so y'all can see, is a tiny little cobra on our forearms first. And in this little forearm cobra, what we're doing is we're paying attention to feeling where the back bend is happening for us. So I'm gonna dig my elbows and my hands into the ground, pull my sternum forward, lift my head, look for the wall behind me, keeping my teeth closed but not clenched, and I'm feeling what part of my back is bending here. I really want to get as much curve in the upper back as I can, so I can think of lifting and wrapping my spine around a log behind me. Coming on out of there, just taking note for myself of where I felt that most, if there was any spot that felt like it was doing a lot of bending, or any spots that were like, we don't want to play. That's information to use for later. Then we're going to do the same thing in a bigger cobra, hands on the ground, leading with the chin all the way up. And this is just an assessment. It doesn't have to be the biggest cobra we've ever done in our life. Just noticing where we're feeling the sensation of the bend. Making sure that the glutes are engaged here to protect our low back.
And then we roll all the way down. Cool. So most of us have some people have 2 spots in their back that like to bend, and they're just like, we'll do all of it. And so you'll have kind of this L shape or this crunch shape in the spine. The goal of this class is to help to build the skills so that we can spread that bend out evenly throughout the entire spine. So instead of doing our back bend like this, we want to do our back bend like this. So hopefully you were able to notice a spot, maybe a couple spots in your back that felt like they were doing all the bending. And so we're going to be working with the muscles and the joints around those spots. Those ones already have it figured out. So now we have to kind of like get the rest of the class to catch up. So first thing we're going to do is a mobilization exercise. This is neither a stretch nor a strengthener. It's actually more like a deep tissue massage. And we're going to use this to help all of the little joints in the upper back remember that they are joints. So go ahead and grab your foam roller or your peanut or whatever cylindrical object you happen to have brought. Hopefully everybody saw that in the description. You can use a rolling pin. You can use a wine bottle if you're careful. Anything cylindrical will work for this. We're gonna set ourselves up exactly like Staza has. Weird, it's like you've done this before. With our foam roller kind of underneath our shoulder blades. You have 3 options for the hands, depending on how intense of a sensation you're looking for. You can have them alongside the ears. You can have them behind your head to help support your neck, or you can have them crossed over your chest like a Dracula. Wherever you end up having your arms, the goal is that you're going to lengthen your spine as much as you can so that theoretically the head and the butt are both on the ground at the same time. Not everybody's head is going to reach. You're just going to let it drape back as much as possible. Then I'm going to lift my hips and also my head simultaneously. Look at my pelvis. There it is. And then as I go back down, I'm lengthening out, thinking of pulling my butt away from my head, and they should land at the same time. I'm going to do 3 or 4 of these. And then I'm going to roll myself up this way towards my head on my foam roller, or you can think of rolling your foam roller lower on your body, about as small of an increment as I can. The idea here is that theoretically, we would be doing this at every single joint in the spine. With the foam roller, it's a little bit too gross to be able to do that exactly, but we're kind of getting that concept into our upper back. So keep on going, 3 or 4 in each spot, and then roll the foam roller or the peanut or the rolling pin or the wine bottle further down your spine. And do this at every little spot that you can find up until you get to the bottom of your rib cage. Once you're at the bottom of the rib cage, you can do this exercise in that like free area of the spine where there are no ribs, but it isn't usually as helpful for people. And it's a little bit easier to hurt yourself doing that if you're already tired. So just to the bottom of the rib cage, y'all. Good work. I'm just watching how great you all are. Fantastic. Good. Beautiful. Good. Really focusing on lengthening down so that the head and the booty come to the ground simultaneously. Nice work, everybody. Fantastic. Good. I'm going to give you a little more time. When you're finished, go ahead and show me that you're finished by just sitting up and looking ready for the next thing. Otherwise, I'll think you're still working. And after you do that mobilizer exercise, it can be nice to kind of just go like this a little bit and feel how much more freely the upper back is moving. A little snake action. Yeah, beautiful. Very, very nice. Good. Okay. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to stand up and do a big side stretch. Side stretches are one of the things that's really, really helpful in preventing pain in the lower back, especially if you're doing a lot of back bending or using the muscles of the low back a lot. So stand on up. You can tell exactly how small my living room is because my head is cut off, but you don't need to see my head for this exercise anyway. Feet are nice and wide. One arm is going to come up alongside your ear. Reach as high as you can. Feel the deltoid touch the earlobe. Feel the rib cage open, up and over to a big side stretch here. Doing this after we do the mobilizer exercise will probably mean that we're going to feel more stretch lower in our side than we normally would.
It can be fun to experiment with doing this before, feeling where the stretch is, then doing the mobilization, and then doing this stretch again, and see how that has changed the sensation in the body. And then reach along to come up, reach at the top, same thing other side, reach, open, up and over to the side. Good, feeling all that space that you have between your ribs now here. Fantastic. And then reach again, reach at the top and come on down. Good, shake it out. I love side stretches. If I were only allowed to do one stretch ever again for the rest of my life, these are the things I think about, I would choose that side stretch. It is, I think, the best bang for your buck of all the stretches. Doing a quick time check. Cool, we got plenty of time. I'm still out of breath from the cardio and then talking the whole time after that. Oh, but it's good, we're nice and warm. Okay, fantastic. So the next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna reassess our back bend. So we're gonna do those little cobra and then the big cobra again, really paying attention and feeling where in our back we're feeling the most sensation. Hopefully it will be slightly different from before. Making sure that the glutes are gently engaged for both of these. Great. Making sure that the glutes are gently engaged. Little baby cobra, reach up, look behind you. Pulling the sternum forward, getting as much curl in that upper back as possible. And then same thing, feeling the change that just those two exercises, just the mobilization and the side stretch have made in how the back feels. And then come on down. Beautiful. Show me with your thumb. Did you notice a change? No change. It was harder that time. Any of those is a distinct possibility. Nice, good. I'm seeing some thumbs up. Fantastic. Great work so far, everybody. You're doing a really good job. Okay, next thing that we're gonna do is a strengthener for our back. So we did our mobilizer, which is like our deep tissue massage. We found that our spine is made of multiple joints. Congratulations. Now we're gonna do a strengthener. So we're gonna be practicing engaging and strengthening the muscles that control all the different joints of the spine. We're gonna do two different versions of this. The first one can be kind of the most frustrating one or sometimes the most challenging. The second one is a lot more satisfying. So we'll save it for dessert. So let me get to a place where I'm long enough here. First strengthener is gonna be our peel up with our arms alongside our sides. What's really important, I'm coming at this from a contortion perspective, so there are a lot of ways to do back bends. There are back bends in gymnastics, there's back bends in ballet, back bends in different kinds of dance, back bends in martial arts, in yoga. So this is not the one true and only way to do back bends, but it is the way that I was taught and the way that I teach. So if you know another way, that's awesome and fantastic. Please still try this way today with me, even if it is unfamiliar. So in contortion, we really want to consider the neck as part of the spine, which it is, and we want to get as much curl in the neck as possible. In ballet and in yoga, there's a lot of emphasis on lengthening the neck as you lift up in an exercise like this. But for contortion, we really want to lead with the head and curl up like so. Big difference. Gonna feel really different if you haven't done it that way before. Starting lying flat on the belly, arms are alongside the sides, totally down here. I'm gonna lead with my head and I'm gonna lift myself up with my muscles as much as I can, and then I'm gonna lower back down nice and slowly with control. You may not get very high. You might not be able to get up off of your ribs, and that's okay. The goal is that we are strengthening the muscles in the organization of doing the pull-up. We're gonna do 8 like that. Ready, go. Arms alongside the sides, beautiful. Thinking of squeezing the shoulder blades together here. You almost wanna think of putting your shoulders on your butt. Very nice, good work, team. Yeah! These look great. Letting the weight of your head help curl the upper back even more.
Another way to think about this is that you're lifting and wrapping your spine around a log like a snake. Good. Beautiful. I'm gonna do a few more of these with you so that I'm also warm. Making sure the glutes are still engaged here. Very important to help protect the low spine from getting overbent. Nice, fantastic. Take a little rest. I'm gonna talk us through the next one. So the next one is really similar. It's also a peel up. This time, so the last one was our active flexibility. It's where can I get my bones using my muscles. The next one we're gonna do is gonna marry our active flexibility and our passive flexibility. So we're gonna use our muscles as much as we can. Then we're gonna use our arms to support getting into a deeper back bend. Chelsea's coughing from the cardio, not from coronavirus. Thank you, good to know. So we're gonna then add our arms and use our arms to help get into a deeper, more passive back bend, and then we're gonna re-engage our muscles on the way out. So we're using the arms as training wheels to help find the full range of motion, and we're using our muscles for as much of that as possible. The goal being that eventually we can move our spine throughout its full range of motion just using the muscles in the back. So it's gonna look like this. I'm gonna hover my hands as if I were about to do a push-up. My glutes are gonna be nice and engaged, my legs are straight, and the tops of my feet will stay down on the ground here. I'm gonna lead with my head, and then when I need help, I put my hands down, use my arms to come all the way up and back to my deepest cobra, really thinking of wrapping my spine around the log here. And then I'm gonna lower myself down, and when I think I can do this without my hands, I take them off and finish lowering just using my muscles. Coolio? You want to see it again? Some people do.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
One more time. So, glutes are engaged, lying flat on the belly. Hands are hovering just beside the shoulders as if I were about to do a push-up. Leading with the head. Peel up with my muscles as much as I can. When I need help, I put my hands down and use them to push myself to my deep, deep cobra, really thinking of shoulder blades to butt here. Then I'm gonna lower down, and as soon as I think I can take my hands off, I'm gonna try it and finish lowering using my muscles. Extra credit if you talk the entire time. We're gonna do 6 of these because they're hard. Ready, go. Yes, good. Remembering to curl in the neck and to lead with the head. Beautiful. Thinking of the back of the head being in contact with the back of the neck. Very nice job, everybody. These are great. We got some strong back folks in here. Beautiful. Good. Great job, team. These are lovely. Fantastic. Yes, very good. Nice and slow and smooth, like butter. Beautiful. Beautiful. So nice. And hopefully what you're noticing, theoretically, is that your deep cobra is deeper as you go, and that you're using your hands for smaller amounts of time as you go. Sometimes we'll notice this over the course of just doing the exercise 6 times. Sometimes it's over the course of doing the exercise every time we train. Maybe like a week later or 2 weeks later, we'll notice we're using our hands less. But the goal really is to not need the hands, to be able to do the whole peel up with just the back. Good. Take a little rest, sip a little water. Cressie, we have like 15 minutes, is that right?
We have 10, 11, 13 minutes.
Like 15. It's, you know,
yeah, 15 minutes. Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Also, Janelle, if you would take a quick look at the chat, there was a question that maybe you could address.
Let's see it. Thanks for the heads up. Is it okay if the feet come up off the floor? Is that the question?
That is the question, and that was posted before this last exercise where you did tell us to keep our feet on the floor,
Oh,
but
yeah.
just wondering, yeah.
Yeah. Ideally, the feet stay on the floor for all of this. It's not the end of the world if they come up. But if the feet are coming up, you're doing more work with your legs and your like low back than you need to. So it's just extra work for you. Also, eventually, like when you're doing your beautiful contortion act that you're going to do one day, you want to be able to do your peel up in like a nice position. And if my feet come off, I have to like rock and roll to get to my peeled up position. So we're practicing keeping the feet down, but you're not going to harm yourself by letting them come off the floor. Does that make sense? Thanks. That's a really good question. Thank you so much for asking. Yeah. Okay, next one we're going to do is for our shoulders. Back bends are basically 1/3 hips, 1/3 back, and 1/3 shoulders. So we're going to do a little exercise for our shoulders and then also to help us keep our abs organized in and out of a back bend. So go ahead and grab a spot on the wall, or if you have a piece of furniture that you can put your weight on, like a big chair, that will work too. I'm going to use a chair. Perfect. Great job. If you're on the wall, you're just going to put your hands on the wall at about shoulder height. If you have furniture, you're going to adjust your shoulder height to match your furniture height. So you can go down on your knees or whatever you need to do. On the wall, hands are going to be flat, like you're pressing them into the wall. On furniture, you're going to do a karate chop hand so that the pinky side of the hand is coming down. Good. And then I'm going to walk myself back enough that I can make kind of an L shape with my body, so a nice bend in the hips. Doesn't have to be a perfectly right angle, but give or take right angle. Here, I'm going to keep my abs gently engaged so that my back stays flat. I don't want to arch my back yet. I'm going to let my head be heavy, and my neck is really long, so this is opposite of contortion neck. You can kind of let that neck stretch out. I'm going to pull away so that my armpits are as long as possible, and I'm going to let my armpits and my head sink down toward the ground without arching my spine. So I'm really, really stretching the fronts of my arms and my shoulders. Beautiful. And then here, I'm going to move through a nice smooth transition. I'm going to lift my head, stick my booty out, press my chest forward towards the wall, getting a big arch in the back, pulling down in the armpits here. And then I'm going to reorganize everything, pull my abs back in, find that flat back, tuck the chin, and keep whatever stretch I found in the armpits in the armpits. Good. I'm going to do that 3 more times. You guys can do this on your own time with your breath, however feels good for you. There's no right way to breathe for this, so try some different strategies and see what works for you. Arching and then reorganizing. Good, fantastic. You can keep going if you're not finished. I'm just gonna come spy on you. I guess it's not spying if you're in my class, huh? Good job, you guys, looking good. Beautiful. Great. Nice job. Okay, very last thing that we're gonna do, and this is a big challenge move. So we're gonna try this. I want you to tuck it away in your back pocket, even if it's not very successful today, that's all right. This is literally like 101. This is the fastest I've ever taught this material. I feel a little manic, so surely like if this doesn't work perfectly for you the first time today, it's completely fine. Just tuck the exercise away in your pocket, try it again in a couple days, try it again maybe when you have been warming up for longer. You can play with it, it's yours, it's a gift. So we're gonna do our lunge arch back. It is a whole lot of things. We are gonna be marrying our hips and our back flexibility. If you have yoga blocks or stacks of books or anything to kind of set at your side here, they will probably help you. We're gonna start in a nice low lunge, really pressing firmly with the front leg, The back leg is long behind us, and you can have your hands being supported by whatever accoutrement you want. Then we're gonna lift through the chest. So big inhale, lift, bring the head back first because this is contortion. And then we're gonna curl our back down, looking for our foot behind us. Support yourself as much as you need to with your hands here so that we're really using engagement in the glute to press the hip forward and to lengthen the entire line of the body from that toe to that head. Do, do, do. And then for the real challenge, we're gonna use our abs to lift up and out. Lovely. Same thing, other side. Here we go. Nice low lunge, strong front leg holding me up here. Engagement in that back glute so that my hip doesn't go weird sides. It just goes nice and long. And then I'm gonna do my big lift. The lift is important. Bringing the head back, leaning back, looking for my foot, supporting myself as much as I need to with my hands here. And for my next trick, I will somehow come out of this position using my abs, unfurling like a little baby fern growing up out of the ground, and then come on out of there. Guys, you did it. That was so much back bending in 25 minutes. I'm so impressed with you. We have like 1 minute, maybe 6 minutes left. I want to open it up. Thank you, Cressie. I really appreciate you. I want to open it up to questions. If you want to come off mute to ask your question rather than typing in the chat, I think that will be quicker. If there's anything that you need clarified or any questions about like taking this further, now is the time. Yes, Miss Cressie?
I just need to note that this is being filmed, and if your video is on and you speak, you will be on video for public view. So just keep that in mind. If you want to speak and not be seen, if you want to not be seen, but still want to talk, you can just stop your video.
Thanks, that's a really good point. Thanks, Cressie. Any questions, team? Comments, concerns?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't have my video on. So I was wondering, is there a way to protect your neck from these sort of extreme, you know, I've just never done this thing because I'm very used to yoga. And I've like always supported my neck and I have like a lot of like neck tightness. Is there a way or maybe some stretches or something you recommend to protect your neck?
Yeah, so strengthening the neck is really important. You don't want to bend anything without it having the strength to kind of support itself there. So what we were doing in the Cobra, where we were just the very beginning of that, lifting the head is going to strengthen the back of the neck. Really nice cross training to strengthen the front of the neck is exactly the opposite of that exercise. So you'll lie on your back, your ponytail will be in the way. You're going to make as many chins as you can. It's going to look real attractive. I'm so glad this is going to be on video. Make as many chins as you can. And then lift just a little bit, trying to keep the shoulders relaxed, making sure that you're lifting with the muscles of the front of the neck and that you're not just doing a crunch. And then relax, re-engage, re-lift, and relax. And it's basically just like sit-ups for your neck muscles. So if you're doing these lifts with the back of the neck like we were doing in class today, it's nice to cross-train with those front of the neck lifts. That's a great question.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else?
Hey there, for that one of the first exercises with the foam roller, are you able to get deeper or more articulation between the joints if you use the peanut instead?
Yes.
Cool.
When I have time, what I like to do is I do the whole exercise with the foam roller, and then I do the whole exercise again with the peanut. And that is an exercise that really, you know, when we're not in this like crunched 101 time frame, you can really luxuriate, like absolutely take as long as you need to find all the little spots in the back with that one. Any other questions? Did anybody?
First off, that's incredible. Just amazing.
Oh, good.
I had a quick question, just out of curiosity. The exercise that we did on the chair and on the wall, Are there benefits or differences between doing it on the chair versus on the wall?
Yeah. Try both. See what feels nice to you. The exercise should be pretty much the same. The only real difference is what's happening in the hands. If you're on the wall, and I didn't get into this a lot today just for the sake of time, but if you're on the wall, you really want to press the pinky side of the hand harder than the thumb side. What that does is it initiates a rotation in the shoulder, which is your handstand rotation. So it's that external rotation in the shoulder. When you're on the chair, because you have the karate chop arms, it's a little easier to maintain that rotation. That's the main difference between the two. I think we have time for one last question, but I see that a lot of folks are having to go, so we'll wrap it up. But is there any one last question, comment, concern, thought? Cute animal you want to show me?
If no one else speaks up, I have one, but as the host, I will easily come back to it later. But if anyone else, please.
That was super awesome. Thank you. That's all I have to say.
Thank you. I'm so glad you were here. Thanks for coming. Cressie, what's your question?
So circling back to using the peanut
Yeah.
rather than the foam roller, you have a big difference in distance. So how do we make up for that? Because I found with the foam roller that like distance of letting the shoulder drop and the butt drop really lengthened me out. And how do we articulate through that with this much
Without
space?
the foam roller? Yeah, you can put your foam roller on top of a yoga block or on top of a stack of books to get a little bit more height so that you have, is that kind of what you're talking about? That distance from like where the back. Yes, don't put your foam roller on a yoga block. That would be really and you have a rollable act. That could be fun. You can put your peanut, on top of a yoga block or on top of a stack of books to elevate it a little bit. That can feel really, really intense in the back. So it's definitely optional. It's not necessarily like the way you have to do it if you're using the peanut.
Really quick, do you have a peanut to show us?
Yeah.
I have no idea what that is.
Best $8 I ever spent on Amazon. Truly a magnificent creature, this peanut. So if you're doing that exercise with the peanut, you make sure that the balls of the peanut are on either side of your spine. So you don't want the balls pressing into the bone, you want them pressing into the muscle. Right, like so. Yeah? Cool. Thanks, you guys. It is time, so I am gonna let us go. Cressie, do you have any last announcements that you want to make? You did such a good job at the beginning, but if you want to follow up, go for it.
We have another class tonight at 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Please show up early so you're ready to go when we start and you can meet your coaches and everything. And also that I'm going to put the donation information up in the chat, or not in the chat, but on my screen after this. But if anybody is ever interested in that information, it's also always on the event page. I kind of have it in a lot of places. But thank you guys so much for being here. This was such a great model for how we can utilize this workshop concept moving forward. I feel like we all got a lot of really great information that we can like watch this video again on YouTube, and just there's so much you gave us, Janelle, so thank you for
I've never talked so fast in my life, honestly.
It felt incredibly efficient and packed with knowledge, so thank you so much.
So glad.
Super grateful.
And thank you, Staza, for toasting our buns. All right, thanks you guys, good work. I'm gonna stick around for a few minutes, but y'all are free. Really good job.
Yay, all right, yeah, the chat will be open for a few minutes. Love you guys.
Thanks, Janelle. That was amazing, as always.
Thanks, Staza. Oh my God, that cardio killed me. That's really sad. I should do more cardio.
I know. I feel that way every day we do these.